warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noraqilah Binti Roslan, and today I will talk about step in performance management process. In step 1, goals set to align with the higher levels. Goals are the basis of an effective performance management process. Making department goals accessible to all managers ensures there is no overlap, reduces conflict, and allows members of different departments to see where they support each other and ensure they are not working at cross purpose. An accepted framework to use to help us write effective goals is SMART, which is S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for result, and T for time bound. Criteria result in a goal that is understandable and easily visualized and evaluated. Using SMART framework provide clarity of front to employee who will evaluate against these goals. In step 2, behavioral expectation and standard set and then align with the employee and organizational goals. Setting expectation for the employees is an essential responsibility that many business owners gloss over. Clear employee expectation benefit not only the staff but on the businesses as a whole. Setting employee expectation can eliminate or reduce confusion and increase the chances of employee being successful in achieving the goals set for them. Setting expectation and communicating employees' responsibilities to each new hire can have a long effect on the businesses. In step 3, ongoing performance feedback provided. Performance management including goal setting, performance planning, performance monitoring, feedback and coaching should be an ongoing and continuous process, not a once or twice yearly event. Feedback that is delivered when it is most relevant enhance learning and provide the opportunity to make any adjustment needed to meet objective. The attitude toward an ongoing feedback is also crucial. In step 4, performance appraised by managers and others. A performance assessment form is a tool that helps guide and document discussion between a manager and employee about the employee's performance over the past year. A poorly designed assessment form can undermine a good performance management system. As part of the performance assessment process, the manager and employee may have identified areas for further training and or development as well as the type of activities the employee could undertake. Document the expectation for training and development in the performance assessment form. In step 5, formal review or feedback session conducted. Feedback is essential information that tells the performer what to do more of or less of in order to improve their performance. Not only is this demotivating for the employee, it also represents a list of missed opportunity for performance improvement as well as missed opportunity for reinforcing good behavior. Research has shown employees to be receptive to feedback for improvement if it is fair and accurate. Also, managers who work on their relationship with their team and create an environment of trust will have more credibility when delivering difficult feedback. This is the last step in performance management process, which is human resource decision making. These are some major ways in which decision making takes place and manifests itself in human resource management. The role of human resource manager is becoming more complex and critical in both small and big firms. Companies understand the importance of recruiting highly skilled workers and retaining them. The productivity of an organization also depends on its staff. In this era, when there is heavy demand for highly skilled people, they are also responsible for employee satisfaction and compliance with law. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Najiha binti Muhammad RADZI. Today I will talk about the purposes of performance review. There are two primary purposes of performance review, which are developmental and administrative purpose. The developmental purposes emphasize the employee's future performance by identifying individual strengths and weaknesses, providing the feedback, determining organizational training needs, improve communication, and any other needs that can emphasize their future performance. Next is administrative purposes. These purposes help identify strong and weak performance and thereby assist in decision regarding promotion, transfer, raises, bonuses, and other types of employee rewards. Of course, they also help determine who gets laid off and who may get terminated from employment. Hi, we meet again in the reason why personal review can fail. Performance management system is one of the most important aspects of an organization. Human resource managers are usually the ones who carry out the performance management process in an organization. Here is the list of common reasons for the failure of the personal review. First is inadequate preparation on the part of the manager. Next, employees are not given clear objectives at the beginning of the performance. Also, it can be the manager may not be able to observe performance or have all the information. Next, the performance standard may not be clear and inconsistent ratings among supervisors or other raters.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noorfatin Binti Johari. I am from GBA 2421A and I will explain about how to develop an effective performance management system. The first one is evaluate our current performance appraisal process, which is as a human resource in the company. We have to look at what type of feedback that we give to our employees, and we also have to determine if there's anything we need to change or we need to add in the evaluation itself. And also we have to decide to build on what type we already have or to develop a new system appraisal or new system altogether. The second one is to identify organizational goals, which is we have to identify the process or the procedures that could be simplified or done effectively. And we also have to declare our sales goals for the next year or the new products that we could like to develop. And also we have to share our hope for better communication between the departments and the staff members. The third one is set the performance expectations, which is that we have to acknowledge that what are they doing well in their performance and use this to encourage our employees. We also have to share some weaknesses that we have observed in them, in their habits, in their works, and how to overcome those who help their performance in the company. Next is what are the performance standards. First is strategic relevance. Strategic relevance refers to the extent to which performance standards relate to the strategic objectives of the organization. Second is criterion deficiency. When performance standards focus on a single criterion to the exclusion of the other important but less quantifiable performance dimensions, then the performance management system is said to suffer from criterion deficiency. Third is criterion contamination. It influenced by the factors that they are not related to the concept being measured. For example, on the test intended to measure maths aptitude that is highly influenced by the respondents' verbal activities. The fourth one is reliability. Refers to the stability or consistency of a standard to which individuals stand to maintain a certain level of performance over time, and it also can be measured by correlating two sets of rating made by a single rating or two different raters. Fifth is fairness and acceptability. Employees that think performance management is unfair are likely to consider the process a waste of time or feel frustrated and unsustainable. Acceptability related to how difficult for administer and use the performance management system. And the last one is set new performance expectations for the next year. For example, like give reward or celebrate often if the team exceeds expectations in a meeting or the sales exceeds the target market. Take them out for the lunch, tell the employees about the new performance management system, explain why the change needs to take place and how it will help them as a staff member and the organization as a whole.
And Assalamualaikum, my name is Farzana Huda and my student ID is 2021856214. So I will be presenting about source of performance review information. Manager or supervisor must evaluate employees. Supervisors are in the greatest position to carry out this function, although it may not always be possible. Managers with a large number of subordinates frequently claim that they don't have enough time to observe each one's performance in detail. The management must therefore rely on the performance record of their employees. It is possible that the review will be less than accurate if reliable and valid metrics were not provided. The next one is the employee. Employees are frequently asked to offer comments on self-evaluation form at numerous companies. The self-evaluation might help an employee become more involved in the review process and think about his or her own strengths and flaws. To put in another way, self-evaluation serves as a springboard for the conversation. The employees and his or her manager then analyze the person's job performance and agree on a final assessment. Employees frequently show themselves impartially in situation and believe that they will have a greater influence on their performance assessment if they do so. An employee may grow irritated if their position is not sacrificed. As a result, self-evaluation are generally better suited to development rather than MC goals. The third one is subordinates. Both large and small business have employed subordinate assessment to provide manager with feedback on how their subordinate perceive them. Subordinates are in a unique position to witness various performance-related behaviors such as their leadership ability, capacity to delegate, implicit supportiveness, and so on. And they are still in a position to provide feedback to their managers because they are in frequent communication with their superiors. The next one is peers. Individuals of equal rank who work together are invisibly being asked to rate each other. Co-workers complete a review of the employees with a peer evaluation. The data is easily aggregated and presented to the employees' boss for inclusion in the final appraisal. Peer evaluation has the advantage of accurately providing more accurate and valid information for employees. Employees who put their best foot forward are frequently observed by supervisors. Those who collaborate frequently may perceive a more realistic picture. Peers may quickly assess their co-workers' leadership and interpersonal ability as well as their other strengths and deficiencies. The next one is team members. The peer review is complemented by the team evaluation. It can be difficult to differentiate one person's contribution from another in a group situation. To counter this, companies like Google, Boeing, and Apple have adopted team evaluation to assess the overall effectiveness of their teams. This business feels that the team evaluation can help break down barriers between co-workers and encourage them to work together. Move on to the customer. Another source of information for performance review is customer feedback. Companies including FeedX, Best Buy, and Isuzu have used external customers to submit input for staff assessment. As part of the assessment process, other companies follow vendors and suppliers. Managers aspire to get more objective review, more friendly staff, happier customers, and greater business success by incorporating the firm business partners in the performance review. The next slide is 360-degree evaluation. Many organizations including Intel, Morgan Stanley, and Disney have employed a multiple rater approach, also known as 360-degree evaluation, that incorporates various sources of performance review information. Jobs are complex and various people see things differently. 360-degree feedback, as the name implies, aims to give employees the most accurate picture of their performance possible by gathering feedback from a variety of sources, including supervisors, colleges, subordinates, customers, and so on. The data is then gathered into a single document which the employee's management then synthesizes as a part of the overall evaluation. Also, move on to the advantage is the first one is provide a complete assessment. Because the 360-degree feedbacks come from so many different sources, the information collected is broader and therefore has the potential to be more accurate. It may be possible to notice recurring patterns and themes from the feedback. As the number of respondents increase, there is a better idea of an employee's behavior, work, and relationship. The second one is increased transparency. From 360-degree feedback can lead to developing trust between co-workers. An increase in transparency and trust may enhance decision making, increase performance, and build a solid foundation of knowledge.
all of which has the potential to increase revenue. When used internationally, 360-degree feedback can let organization generate ideas, improve operations, make positive changes, and tap into the unrealized potential. The last one is increase teamwork. Typically, when a team is able to identify all of their strengths and weaknesses as individual as a team, they have the knowledge and motivation necessary to make changes and improvement. When employees know what area they need to develop and improve, they can become better workers as individuals and become better collaborators with their team, which result in a more productive and positive work environment. Move on to the disadvantage is the first one is subscribable to dishonest review. If a lack of trust exists among co-workers, they may not offer honest feedback, but rather just say what they think people want to hear. If the feedback is not honest, then it's not likely also accurate, which is not very useful. A small close-knit team may be afraid of being too critical, and a very large team may not other well enough to give an accurate assessment. The second one is efficient but slow. It can take significant time to complete a 360-degree performance appraisal. It takes time for the source to participate in answering the questionnaire, the free and for the supervisor or human resource employees to read through the material and analyze it with insight. The quality and amount of feedback often comes at the cost of lost time. Some managers may have the temptation to use 360-degree feedback to focus on the negative aspect of employees' performance rather than develop and encourage positive aspects. And the last one is suspicious and distrustful environment. Too much negativity can lead to resentment and feelings of fear of anger. Managers can be mindful of this possibility and focus on balancing both negative and positive feedback, teaching about constructive criticism and turning negative comments into beneficial and actionable statements.
Now we'll move on to performance review method. So performance review is a formal assessment in which manager evaluates an employee's work performance, identifies strengths and weaknesses, offers feedback, and set goals for future performance. It is an annual process where an employee's performance and productivity is evaluated against a predetermined set of objectives. In other words, it's called performance appraisals or performance evaluation. There are three methods introduced under performance review method, which are trait methods, behavioral method, and result method. So the trait method, the first one, is a way of studying personality that places emphasis on the traits of an individual as markers of personality. This method is focused on individual differences and the interaction and the combination of personality traits that what makes individual personalities unique. There is 4 trait methods. First one is graphics rating skill method, which each employee is rated accordingly to scale of characteristics. Second one is mixed standard skill method. It is similar to other skill method but based on comparison with a standard. Third one is forced choice method. It requires the rater to choose from statement design to distinguish between successful and unsuccessful performance. Last one is an essay method. This one requires the rater to write a statement describing an employee's behavior or performance. Okay, the second method is a behavioral method, an idea that can get the right level of performance from employees based on a demonstrations of desirable behavior. And this method links performance with achievement of goals, conflict of interest, control and reward. And this helps make management making decisions and monitor organizational goals easier. So there are 4 behavioral methods. First one is critical incident method. The manager will keep a log or diary for each employee throughout the review period and notes that related to how well the employees perform. The second one is behavioral checklist method. Require the rater to check statements on a list that describe characteristic of the employee's behavior. The third one is behavior observation skill. It measures the frequency of observed behavior. And last one is behavioral anchored rating skill. This consists of a series of vertical skills, and this method is the most preferred performance review as it enables managers to gauge better results and provide constant feedback and maintain consistency in evaluation. Okay, the last method is result method. This one is focused on employee accomplishments such as whether or not an employee met a quota, met a requirement.
Okay, there is 3 result method only. First one is sales productivity and quality measure. It is directly linked what employees accomplish to result what benefit the organization. Second one is management by objective. It rates the performance of employees based on the achievement goals set mutually by them and their managers. And third is the balanced scorecard. This one takes into 4 related categories, which are financial measures, customer measures, process measures, and learning measures. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. So this is the last chapter for this presentation. My name is Dayang Afiqah Binti Abang Akbar. My student ID is 2021801888. I will assist you on the performance review meeting and the feedback session. The format for this chapter is they will be divided into 3 parts. As you can see down here, we got the type of performance management system used, purpose, and organization of a firm review form. The formal performance evaluation, they will be scheduled far enough from the exact date for the discussion. It will take around 10 days until 14 days, which is 2 weeks. This is to allow the manager to prepare for the discussion. See you on the next slide. For the second slide, we're going to discuss about the types of performance review meetings and feedback sessions. As you can see down here, there's 3 types. The first one is tell and sell, tell and listen, and problem solving. For tell and sell, managers need to skillfully and use their motivational and persuasive techniques to help their employees to change their behavior in their job performance. This can help them to achieve their goals. And number 2 is tell and listen. There's 2 parts in this tell and listen type. The first part, the supervisor needs to point out the strong and the weak point of the employees about their job performance. While at the second part, the employee will describe how they feel about the review that their supervisor told them about. Last but not least is the problem solving. For this type is to obtain the employee to buy in for a mutually agreed upon way to overcome obstacles and improve their actual performance in their job. Or I can say that in their job performance.